Okay. Hello, everyone. I have the top of the hour. We're going to get started. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon or evening, wherever you are. It's great to see all our COCA friends. It's been a couple of months since we have had a webinar, so we're so excited to get together tonight. You a very special one. First off, I want to start with our housekeeping notes. If you can turn on your camera, see your beautiful face, and we are going to have time for questions. If you have any in particular you want Beth to discuss, put them in the chat and we will make sure we answer those at the end. And you know, just to shout out along the way if you want to interject and add anything. So tonight, I'm real excited to introduce you guys to my new friend, Beth Monick with Beads of Courage. And, you know, this webinar tonight would not be possible without our great friends at Northwestern Mutual. We are so excited and just felt honored to know Judy and Jody with Northwestern Mutual. If you don't know them, you need to know them. They do a partnership meeting every month for their partners, and that's how I have gotten to know Beth and Jean with Beads of Courage. And so Judy and Jody, I'd love for you guys to say hello or anything you'd like to say to the COCA members.
Hey everybody, we're so glad that you have invited Beads of Courage and want to learn more about it. We love the program. We love supporting it across the country. Congratulations on creating summer camp for yet another summer for your kids, however you did that. So I know it continues to be a challenge, and as we live through these crazy past 18 months and counting. So we appreciate all that you do for kids. Thanks. Glad you're here.
Thanks, Judy. And I'm Jennifer Amundsen, and didn't say that earlier, but I am. And now I'm going to tell you all about Beth. She is amazing. She's currently the Assistant Executive Director of Beads of Courage Incorporated. She's worked at Beads of Courage since 2015. Beth came to Beads of Courage after working 9 years at a certified Child Life Specialist 1 and 2 and Interim Manager of Child Life Volunteer Services Family Resource Center at Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh of UPMC. She worked in areas of same-day surgery, pediatric oncology, specific to infant, toddler, and preschool-aged brain tumor radiation, pediatric surgery, and cardiac acute and intensive care. She served as Beads of Courage Ambassador for Cardiac for 6 years and has been a child life specialist since 2005 and also is a certified infant massage instructor. For over the last 10 years, Beth has spoken at numerous child life conferences and nursing conferences all over. And without further ado, Beth, thank you for being here. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Jennifer and Dawn, and for all of you for giving me a chance to stand on my soapbox for a little bit and share my passion for Beads of Courage and our programs with all of you. Thank you for that introduction, Jennifer. And, you know, I mimic everything that Jennifer had to say about this amazing partnership that we have with Northwestern Mutual, and so grateful for their sponsorship of our oncology programs across the United States. And just, we were just talking earlier about the partnerships that we have with this amazing group of people who all, you know, seek to do good in the world and support kids and families coping with cancer. And so just very grateful for, you know, how we fell into all of this and getting together. And now, you know, so grateful for this opportunity to share, you know, Beads of Courage opportunities that, you know, may fit into some of the camp goals that you have. So thank you for, you know, spending some time with me this late afternoon, early evening. I've created a presentation, so I'm going to see if I can share the screen here and share sound so I can share that with you. Okay, so now it's hard, you know, these virtual things, because I love to be able to look out at the crowd and see who I'm talking to. And now I see like 4 faces. So I apologize. It's that human interaction that I miss when we do these Zoom calls, you know, the body language and actually looking at people's faces when I'm talking. So anyway, had to share that. I'm a very transparent person. So my presentation is to share with you some of the emotionally supportive and intentional activities and workshops that Beads of Courage have that may fit into your camps. And so one of the things I'm so excited to learn about more, either with calls with Jennifer or as people are contacting me at Beads of Courage, is the variety of camps that are out there to support kids and families coping with cancer. And so, I mean, I kind of had an idea being a child life specialist and working with a lot of the same families, but it's just amazing the work that you all do and how you can connect with people, you know, outside of the hospital. And often, you know, those environments where maybe they feel a little bit better than, you know, the experiences I have where they're recovering from surgery and they just don't feel up to their typical self to do some of those activities. So I'm really excited to kind of dwell in this arena of learning new things and how does Beads of Courage mission potentially fit into some of the camp goals that you have. So on my agenda for today to share with you is a little bit about Beads of Courage. I think that some of you may already know about Beads of Courage. Maybe some of your campers have Beads of Courage from being in the hospital. But I kind of wanted to just start at the beginning. You know, what is Beads of Courage? Who are we? How did we start? Why beads? These tiny little perforated objects, why are those important? Why would we put them into programming? And just highlight some of the Beads of Courage programs that we've since developed from the flagship program as complementary to support our mission to support kids and families coping with serious illness and the clinicians who care for them. And so hopefully I can answer some questions for people who might be looking for emotionally supportive and intentional art activities for campers, whether it's an in-person or virtual camp setting, to support counselors or counselors in training who are looking to gain experience with easy to use psychosocial and emotional support activities. If you have AYA campers or counselors or staff who would like to have an art experience or a Beads of Courage experience, we have a really awesome new program I'm going to highlight for that, and a couple more unique ways to bond with your counselors and junior counselors. Some of our activities don't have to be for campers, but could be for some of those counselor and junior counselor bonding experiences. When I would go to Heart Camp, I know the day before and then the day after would be reserved for the camp staff and counselors and junior counselors to support each other. If you have clinical staff that are integrated into your camps, I know myself as a child life specialist would go to a Heart Camp in the past. And if they're interested in clinical staff, so anyone really, right? Child life, social work, therapists, other hospital staff, maybe your camp staff are also have those clinical training skills, looking to incorporate any type of expressive art with intention and mindfulness into sessions. And we've done a lot of work recently on bereavement support programs and bead giving experiences. So a kind of a classic one that we've had for a while, and also some new beads that I'd like to introduce you to help people find strength as they move through their grief. So a little bit about Beads of Courage. And then I don't know, put your, oh, see, that's why I was like, maybe I should look at the chat. Put your PowerPoint into presentation mode. That's a good idea. Thank you, Jody. I got so excited to start talking. Hold on one second. Hide my meeting controls. Slideshow from the beginning. There we go. Now you can probably see it better. All right. So Beads of Courage, we are a nonprofit organization that was founded back in 2005, and we are headquartered in Tucson, Arizona. And our mission is to provide innovative arts and medicine programs for children and teens coping with serious illness, their families, and the clinicians who care for them. And we believe that our programs use beads as visual and tangible art forms, and that every time a bead is given, courage is honored, suffering is alleviated, resilience is strengthened, and the experience of human caring is affirmed. Beads of Courage is a worldwide collaboration of caring people who want to honor courage through the art form of beads. And so we are excited to share that we have over 300 member hospitals worldwide. Here in the United States, we have we're growing all the time. So a little over 181. In 9 countries, we've identified partner organizations who help to support and distribute beads in their countries. So you can see them here. Which makes it over 400 programs. And I'm talking about our first program we call our flagship program, Beads of Courage, which is what our Beads of Courage member here is wearing. So these are the beads that kids and teens and youth and families of NICU babies, burn, injury, recovery, children wear, and each one of those beads stand for a moment of courage for something they'd have to endure while receiving treatment in the hospital or going to clinic. And so even without telling you what every single one of those beads specifically mean, you can see that Micah has a tremendous amount of courage. So a lot of people already know that, and sometimes he knows it. But when you can gift them with something that they can see and feel and show other people, you kind of get it a little bit more. And sometimes when you're going through some of the nasties that you go through, you forget that you have courage. And so for someone to give you a bead to say, listen, this means all the courage that you have right now for having to take chemotherapy, or, you know, oral chemotherapy isn't the greatest either, right? So anyway, that's our flagship program. And we're excited to know that this opportunity to share their stories of courage is out there for over 60,000 Beads of Courage members worldwide. The other thing that we're excited about at Beads of Courage and our growth is it was originated by our executive director and founder, Jean Gribben, who's a pediatric nurse. And the story behind it is she's doing her caring at the bedside and saw courage on a daily basis. But what she didn't have is anything to truly honor and recognize besides verbally that courage. So she did have stickers, but they're not very long-term. I don't know about you, but when I worked in a hospital, stickers ended up in weird places, on cribs and on the floor and everywhere. And so just not that tangible keepsake that can be kept for long-term to recognize something so important that she saw every day. And so I'll tell you a little bit about why beads, but she created the Beads of Courage program, and since then have collected a small group of people to help support the organization. We have 3 nurses on our staff, Jean as our executive director, a nurse that's supporting our development initiatives, and also our Beads in the Mail program. And we're excited to kind of have a little mini child life department at Beads of Courage these days. So just last year, we were able to recruit Lindsay Patton and Molly Timke to support all of our bead efforts. And, you know, through the 4 of us, along with the nursing staff on our team and collaborations with other caring clinicians, some art therapists, other nurses, social work, and child life, we've collaborated to create some pretty amazing, what we think are pretty amazing programs to support the mission of Beads of Courage. Let's see. So why beads, right? So one of the really cool things I love about Beads of Courage is how it reflects a lot of the important things in the anthropological research out there too. And so why beads? And one of the cool things about beads is that they're extremely historically significant to us as humans. They've been valued for over 100,000 years, being known to honor people of significance. You'd get a bead for royalty or a job status. They were traded for they needed them. So they would trade other valuable things for gold, spices, for beads. They were also used as currency. And they're also very much embedded into our human experience. There's 3 things that we have historically significantly we do as humans. I don't know how to explain it, but we believe objects hold meaning, that these objects are powerful metaphors for remembering people and events that shape us as individuals. And, you know, I ask you to think of what are some objects that you find valuable to you. What do you love? You know, I'm wearing my wedding ring right now. People have given me objects that I keep on a shelf and remind me of them or an experience we've had together. So I think that you can understand that concept of we believe objects hold meaning. We also love to give and receive gifts. And it's something about the caring intention, the act of that caring intention as you give a gift, that feeling you get when somebody gifts you something. They don't have to, but they went out of their way to do something to show you that they care, that they have that authentic presence with you in their life. And contributes to that human solidarity. Like, wow, they really care about me. Like, look, this is what they went out of their way to do for me. Oh, I care so much about you. I need to do something for you, give you something. We have this, inkling to want to do something like that. And then the third thing is that we have a need to tell our story. Stories help us provide a sense of belonging to our community or whoever we're talking to, as we're telling our stories or reflecting on stories or learning from people like maybe our ancestors or our family traditions, really understanding our identity, developing new identities. I like to talk, so I always have a story to tell. So Jean Gribben is our executive director and founder. Her last name was Baruch at the time, but the Beads of Courage program became her PhD thesis. And she started the Beads of Courage program at Children's Hospital of Phoenix. I want to say back in like 2003, through the help of some of her nursing colleagues and child life staff there. And so we do have theoretical approaches to how we developed our initial program. And some of the theories that pertain to our programs are those regarding resilience and strengthening resilience, the nature of suffering and how narration can help to alleviate that, just the concept of arts and medicine and how arts in a medical setting or really any stressful situation can help to support someone emotionally, and even the physiological effects of art on your body to help calm, reduce anxiety, reduce perceptions of pain. And also the transpersonal caring healing practice model of Dr. Jean Watson, who is also a nurse, and a lot of her theories have gone into nursing theory as a way to truly care for another person, not just the physicality of it, but the whole entire person, emotionally, spiritually, and all the things that make up somebody. So our Beads of Courage flagship program, and what we're hopeful in all the programs we develop, is that they help to strengthen resilience in another person, to build that person up, to see that you are strong, that despite adversity and challenges that you face, you have courage and you can do it. Alleviating the experience of suffering, giving voice to the sufferer. So we believe that Beads of Courage is a form of narrative medicine. So even if you verbally have difficulty talking about your strength and courage, the beads can help to visually and tangibly tell your story, not just of the challenges that you're facing, but also what was present during the challenges, the courage, the strength that you had, giving that voice. And our Beads of Courage members and families will tell us how they feel like they can better connect with other people, or they feel that people might understand a little bit better what they're going through. I guess just showing, for every rainbow bead that this child is wearing, that's a therapy session. So look at all the therapy sessions that she was displaying courage to, help herself get better. And then I already kind of mentioned the arts and medicine experience, and then advancing the science of caring, that goes into the Jean Watson theories. But the idea of the science of caring is caring for the whole person, in a very authentic, in the moment, mindful presence of what you're doing with another human, valuing that, really appreciating being in that moment with someone to offer them support and care. It's felt by the other person. And so through all of this, we hope that our programs strengthen that therapeutic alliance and relationship that you seek to have with the child and teen that you're supporting, their family, or whoever that group of people is that are part of that person's community. So what I wanted to do was share with you basically our programs, because what I found is a lot of people, if you know about the flagship program, you don't often know about all the other stuff that we've worked so hard to develop, and through collaborations with other caring clinicians and experts in the field, that we might have some programs that could be a fit for some of the goals that you have for the kids and families that you support at camp. So to quickly review here, and then I have a slide on each, just to give you a little bit more detail, and also, where you can find out more information about these things after my presentation today. And of course, I'll leave some time for some questions, or we can connect, after the presentation, whenever it's convenient for you to talk about these things. So a lot of what I was talking about was the theory and that guided and the history of our flagship program, which is on my screen in the blue background, but also to know that we have programs that support siblings. We have a Bead Mindful program for clinicians to support clinician strength and clinician resiliency. This one came into a lot of play last year as clinicians had to take on even more with the pandemic and changes to, protocol for a lot of things. Our Bead Strong program is really for anyone. These are all for everyone, depending on what your goals are and what you want for them. Bead Strong, our Strand for Strength and Remembrance workshop to support someone who is grieving. And also the one I'm very excited to talk to everybody about is our DREAM program, which stands for Draw and Relax, Embrace Art in the Mind. So I hope these links work, because I wanted to, as I'm introducing each program, take you to our website so you can see where you can read more about it. And that's where I could give you a little blurb on, what each program is. So under our, let's see if this works. Can you see my website? Perfect. Yay, it's working. So Beads of Courage just redid our website. We're very excited about it. And a lot of the things I'm talking about are going to be found under the program tab here. So if you weren't interested in the flagship program, you want your campers to take advantage of the flagship program, it may be at their hospital, and that would be amazing. And we can connect them so that they can have the flagship program. We also have a Beads in the Mail program, which is an opportunity for anyone who doesn't have the Beads of Courage at their hospital to still get beads in the mail. And we have a pediatric nurse who supports all of those applications and the process for that. So on our website under programs, you'll see that. So now I have to go back to my presentation. Oh, am I just going to keep going back and forth? Guess we'll see how this goes. All right, so I had some questions. We sent out some email communications that you might have gotten. These are those same questions to kind of get your attention. And then I tried to embed them into my presentation. So if your camp or what you do to support others has a goal to provide emotionally supportive and intentional programming to siblings, we do have a sibling program that you might be interested in. So Maximilian and Madeline, well, Madeline, I believe, is the sibling member, but anyway, their mom will say that the sibling programs helps our oldest feel included. Having a sibling with congenital heart disease or really any serious illness can be scary. And Madeline's beads are a reminder that she is strong too. So we do have that. And so on our website, you'll see our sibling program, which is a kit. This is another program that's often used in our hospital settings. But again, I think it's important for people who support siblings to know that we have this program. I love the idea of entering into a conversation of how our programs might work in another setting, even though they were traditionally developed for a hospital setting. So the sibling program comes with a kit of 8 mini kits. So 3 cards in a package. One of them is an introductory card, but the sibling will receive their name and beads. And each of our beads, any bead in any Beads of Courage program, carries a meaningful intention. And it will come with something written to remind them of that intention. And our sibling program is a way to encourage communication and healing opportunities with one caring adult and that sibling. So whether it's the parents, a clinician, a staff person at camp, whoever's, goal it is to connect with the sibling and provide opportunities for support and communication, they can do so with our sibling program. And on our website, each one of our child life specialists on our program team is a lead for each of our programs. And so if people were interested in the sibling program, there is information for to get in touch with Lindsay to talk more about the sibling program. All right, so there's that one. All right, why is it my computer's like glitching? My daughter would call it. She's teaching me new words. All right, beads of courage, bead strong. I might just leave it in this mode. Our Bead Strong program addresses some of these questions that I had. You know, do you have clinical staff at your camp, whether in person or virtual, who have a goal to provide emotionally supportive and intentional activities to campers? Do you have AYA campers, counselors, or junior counselors who could benefit from learning mindfulness skills through an art workshop? Also could become a great bonding experience. We've had a lot of feedback of clinicians at hospitals who do our Bead Strong workshop together as a piece of their self-care and support that they offer to each other maybe once a month or something like that. Or do you also have a goal to support bereavement and looking for activities that participants can find strength as they move through grief? So if any of those sound like things that you are looking for, I'm going to go right to my website because it is not letting me click on the link. So you can still see the website. You can see like how I'm navigating. Okay, perfect. So we have our Strand for Strength and Remembrance workshop. So I'm not doing the right one. I got distracted. Hold on one second. Back to Bead Strong. All right, here we are. So this is the one that incorporates moments of mindfulness, an expressive and reflective art activity. And of course it has a bead, which is a visual and tangible experience during the workshop to remind yourself of the mantra. There's a specific mantra for each Bead Strong activity, and also the experience that you had. So for each person, you're going to experience it a little differently as you read the story that we have on the card, walk through in your mind the art expressive activity. These all begin with some breath work. And so we originally created our Bead Strong program for a skilled clinician who's already comfortable guiding people through some sort of breath work process and instilling those moments of mindfulness with others. It does come with a facilitation guide. And we've successfully been able to also have these workshops virtually. And so things we're excited that our program team has been doing is that we have a group, the Children's Cancer Network in Arizona, who bring kids together, and virtually we will conduct these workshops with them. And one of our child life specialist staff lead the workshop. And we also have been working with the Northwestern Mutual Scholars. So cancer survivors who are now in college, they have this great support group and provide scholarships to these individuals. And so this is a piece of some of the emotional support that Northwestern Mutual provides to their scholars. And so we've been honored to have these workshops with those folks as well, which is really awesome. So a lot of this program is here. There's 12 Bead Strong mantras. You can kind of see them here. So the idea is to learn some breath work that can help to ground and support you while incorporating a mantra, which repeating mantras can really help to also ground and provide that positive self-speak within an experience. And so you'll see on our website, life is spread your wings and fly. Joy is live each moment with happiness, love, and laughter. Spirit is shine bright. Strength, smell the flowers. And each one of these mantras and themes have an expressive art activity that comes along with it. So now my screen's probably really small, but it opens up. And as you can see on my screen where it says like joy bead, there's an area where with the art directive, you have a chance to kind of reflect on yourself and how that question or prompt applies to you, and how would you create art with that. So we have a spot where you can color, draw, doodle. Some people have been inspired to write a short poem. You know, what is it that you would like to do with the art directive that the opportunity provides? And then on the back, We also have mandalas from Lori Greenberg. So whether the facilitator chooses to start the workshop that way or end it that way, another opportunity for self-reflection, whether in the beginning to kind of ground, put us in the right space, you know, outside of all the other stuff we've been dealing with, or at the end to maybe continue to process some of the thoughts and feelings that you had that the story here and the art prompts you for. Okay. So this one here is our Bead Mindful program. It was originated for clinicians, so it does have the word clinician throughout, but perhaps something, this is a 12-session workshop where clinicians will receive a bead, enter into some breathing activities, reflect on the bead, and also a meditation, a mantra, and some quotes related to a theme for that session, and just an opportunity to kind of set aside, you know, all of your cares for, you know, a short period of the day, maybe 15-20 minutes, and come together to show support and build and strengthen that resilience. And so that also is, you know, available on our website, programs, and then you'll see clinician support. So we've hopefully organized everything pretty easily. If you feel that, oh, this could be something that, you know, might work if I have a group of clinicians that support my camp. And to be honest with you, even though the word clinician is there, if you're looking for something to support strengthen the resilience and incorporate a mindful practice into any of the staff working for your camp, I have a feeling it would be pretty applicable. You just have to get over the word clinician. That's in the paperwork here, like on the front, but otherwise the meditation and mantras and stuff don't really say that. Now for compassion and courage for bereavement. So this is one that I, you know, was surprised to find that Beads of Courage had as I made the transition from a traditional hospital setting to working for Beads of Courage. I was like, you have this program? If I would have known this, I would have used this in the hospital. I wish other people would know that there's a workshop that can help to support pretty much anyone in really any age that's grieving the death of a loved one. So we don't say child with cancer who died or give any specifics. All of the words in here is to support somebody who's grieving the death of a loved one, and an opportunity to collect beads as visual and tangible reminders of the strength that you display as you go through the grieving process journey. I know it doesn't end, so it just kind of changes, to also selecting beads that are storytelling beads. What story about your loved one would you like to embed into this bead and keep, to remind you of the story, but also provide you the opportunity to share that story with the people in your group, and also a hope for the future bead. You know, what is it that you hope for in the future, to continue to care for yourself, and recognizing that, you know, grief is a difficult process. So we have this program on our website as well. It's not going to let me go there now. My computer is all messed up from the current slide. My apologies. There we go. Over here on the side. So this is one of our opportunities, this workshop. So it's a workshop. I was talking to one of the camp directors or coordinators, and she was saying it's optional, but at our camp we do offer an opportunity for campers and families and whoever feels the need to come together to honor the fact that they are grieving, and we do some activities and workshops centered around that. And it's optional, so if people aren't comfortable, they don't have to come, they have other things to do. And I said, wow, you know, our Strand for Strength and Remembrance workshop could be an opportunity to have an organized workshop that helps to recognize that this is what you're doing right now. You're actively grieving, and to provide an opportunity for remembrance and connection with a group of people using that Strand for Strength workshop. 2 beads Well, one bead that we've had in our program for a very long time is our butterfly bead for bereavement. So although traditionally in our flagship program, we do offer this to people who feel that this would be a good token of comfort and strength and remembrance to show support to families who are grieving, the death of whoever, the child or teen in their family, or parent. I know that there's often, grief camps. And so we could discuss that as well. It's a beautiful handmade glass bead that's not really meant for display versus wearing, that we gift to, honor and show our support for that person. And then these two, we just recently developed our elephant bead and our feather bead. The elephant bead is meant for a mom who's grieving. And so the content inside is really directed towards mom. But it comes with 3 beads all together, 1 elephant bead for the mom to keep. And the intention talks about how, as a mother elephant grieves, the other mother elephants walk around her, kind of form a group around her to show their support. It's amazing because they're elephants. And so we have that bead, and there's an intention in there that talks about showing, being cared for by other people of your community or your quote unquote tribe. And then we include 2 more elephant beads and little cards so the mom can identify who is it of your tribe that you might reach out to support, and almost thanking them in advance. Like, I'm going to call you for support, and I'm going to gift you with a token of appreciation and gratitude for being there for me. And so together the mom and 2 other people have their elephant beads as their symbols of support for each other. This other one is our feather bead. This is an exclusive custom-made pewter feather charm for anyone who needs a dose of encouragement as they grieve the death of a loved one. It's a bead card that opens to reveal an encouraging quote from Chelsea Magnus, who's a mom and professional athlete who shares a story of coping with the death of her son. But the story she shares is about, seeing those things like white feathers, whatever it is in your day to day that helps you remember the person you're grieving, the beautiful rainbow or whatever it is. And so the feather is that token of, that reminder that you can, move through grief with signs of encouragement, whatever that may be and however you might interpret that. So these 2 beads, the feather bead and the elephant bead, we're honored to partner with Hayden's House of Healing. That's out of New Jersey. They are an organization that offers workshops for people who are grieving the death of a child, and so needed to, well, I don't know if they needed to, but they wanted to collaborate with us to create some beads like this, and then another supportive program that's working for them in the workshops that they provide. Okay, so this one's really exciting. Our Power Pendants for AYAs. I think it will help me. I think Angeline's going to explain it for me, but this is an exciting opportunity if you have AYA campers or counselors or staff. 15 to, I want to say 39 or something like that is we were all wondering, we were looking it up. And so 15 to 40 maybe, AYA campers and survivors. And so we have partnered with borosilicate glass artists to create these pendants. This is one of many that are handmade, wearable pieces of art. We believe a power pendant, as we call them, can serve as objects to help focus your thoughts, and can spark an inner strength that can speak to your heart and mind in a powerful way. So there's often powerful affirmations, mantras that anyone uses to get through some of the most difficult challenges. And so we have power pendants to pair with those affirmations and mantras, and you kind of embed your own into it. The cool thing about this is that these are free to AYA survivors. And what we're asked when we gift a power pendant is if they can help us create a booklet of what are some of those strength building and powerful affirmations that you've used over the course of your time to support yourself. And so we're hopeful that we can have a booklet that's collective of a lot of that, so that in the future, when we gift power pendants, we can also have the booklet that was created by other AYAs. So I just want to take a minute to allow Angeline to explain.
Hi. My name is Angeline, and I am
Please.
super excited to introduce to you the Power Pendant project. So I am an osteosarcoma cancer survivor, and I know how difficult treatment can be, especially as a young adult. And so that's why I thought of this project called the Power Pendant. And Power Pendants are these beautiful glass beads. This is mine. I chose this one because it looks like a dragon's eye or like an animal eye, which reminds me to be fierce and strong. And so that spoke to me, so I picked it. So these are handmade by glass artists, and the hope is to distribute them to young adults coping with cancer. We want every young adult coping with cancer to feel empowered and to feel strong with their diagnosis and even afterwards in their survivorship. So these are a little tool for that. So if you want to get involved, you will actually be able to pick your very own Power Pendant yourself. So fill out the survey. Let us know what helps you when you are feeling down or you are experiencing extreme worry, because your words of encouragement are actually going to be put into a booklet that will be distributed to other young adults with cancer or coping with cancer and we hope to encourage everyone and kind of feel like this big community with shared experience. And we will all have our little power pendants to remind us of our resilience and our strength. So we hope that you get involved and join us in being a part of our Power Pendant project. See you at CancerCon.
So we originally made this for CancerCon when we debuted these there, but we still have Power Pendants available, and we're still trying to recruit AYAs that might be interested in having their own Power Pendant and also contributing to our project. So all of these things I'm talking about, if you have any interest, if it applies or fits into your camp or the goals that you have for your campers or counselors or whoever, please feel free to reach directly out to me. It's Beth at Beads of Courage. I don't know if I had that anywhere. I'm also going to make the handouts available for all of this to Jennifer, who can then distribute to you. I think she said there's a portal or something on the COCA website that you guys have access to. So hopefully, whether it's through me or through the handouts or through our website directly, we can connect you to the right resources that you might be interested in for your camp. Now, the last one I'm really excited to talk about, and this is our newest program created last year in an opportunity to, how do we support people who may not be in the hospital? How do we encourage people to believe in the power of art, expression, and connection? So this is our Beads of Courage Dream program, which stands for Draw and Reflect and Embrace the Healing Power of Art, or embrace the healing power of art in the mind. And so when people dream with Courage Tiger through this activity, we hope that they have fun, express their creativity, have an opportunity for self-reflection, feel connected to others as they create the activity together, maybe virtually or in person, or share their activity with another person. Receive the gift of a bead and its carrying intention, because that's what we do. Learn some fun facts. And also on these, the other program we had mandalas. On these, we have some poetry that we picked out that fits with the theme. So bringing that poetry, that literary art into the dream experience as well. So through our partnership with the Children's Oncology Camp Association International, and again, special thanks to Northwestern Mutual for bringing this together, and also supporting 1,000 Sweet Dreams, which means that we were able to offer to camps affiliated here an opportunity to gift 1,000 of these dream activities to camps. And so what that is this activity here. It's kind of like a greeting card that opens vertically. So on the front, you'll see the Dream with Courage Tiger Space Shuttle bead. On the back, this is one of my favorite poems by Shel Silverstein. And then on the inside, it opens up and it tells a story about NASA's space shuttle station and how it had many jobs and how the space shuttles have to carry, people from Earth to the International Space Station, and how it took a lot of dreams and planning and all of that to make something like that happen. And so some of the prompts to the person who's experienced the activity is, what missions do you have in your life? What important jobs do you have? What inspires and motivates you? what is the fuel that helps you get off the ground and complete your missions? So on the bottom, it's draw or describe or doodle, you know, to build your universe, you know, use words and phrase and drawings, you know, to answer some of these questions, to kind of reflect on this. And then incorporated with this art experience is our space shuttle bead, and also some materials to create a bracelet. So then the space shuttle bead and bracelet can become that tangible and visual reminder of the workshop you had, the connection that you had, and, you know, whatever it is that you self-reflected on and expressed, you know, in the activity. And so as of the beginning of August here, we've had a request for 489 of these dream experiences from camps affiliated with your organization, which is really exciting. So here are some of the camps that have reached out. Very excited to meet people from all over the country in a camp in Canada. Meet meaning emails. Virtually, I guess I would love to meet these people in person, perhaps at the camp conference in November. We also had a few other camp connections who are utilizing our dream program, the University of New Mexico Oncology Camp, and then also Camp Clubhouse, which is here in Pittsburgh, PA, through our Clubhouse organization. I didn't say that, but I live in Pittsburgh, PA, so that might make more sense. So with all that being said, with a lot of information thrown your way, I definitely wanted to leave some time for some questions. Leave you with this beautiful quote that we always end our presentations with. And I might stop sharing the screen. That way I can see your faces and answer some of your questions.